Welcome to the Lockdown Economy, a social non-profit initiative by the think tank AlterContacts to help small businesses and self-employed professionals overcome the challenges of the pandemic and reactivate the economy. My name is Karen Rickes, and today my guest is Heidi Ehlers. Heidi is the owner of Koffie Piraat. Koffie Piraat is an online coffee retailer of a wide range of European coffee brands, supporting both well-known and smaller brands. Hello, Heidi. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm super excited to be here and be a part of the follow-up of this amazing project. So, yay.
Excellent. Yeah, we're really glad to have you back here. Yes, as you mentioned, this is your second interview with Lockdown Economy already. So could you maybe tell us a bit about how the pandemic has affected your business since we last spoke?
Well, being that we were always an online business, we were not impacted in the way that many other businesses were. And I do have a lot of respect still for everyone that was able to completely pivot or change their business model in order to, stay functioning in this current situation. We, of course, since we were already online, we just kind of kept doing what we were already doing. But of course, we were still highly impacted. A lot of our manufacturers that we work with, for example, have production issues related to workplace safety around COVID. There's now, for example, with the restrictions at borders, we have issues with transport with the truck drivers who need to show negative COVID tests to get the goods across borders within Europe. And, also certain products, the demand has gone up because people are working from home while the production capacity has gone down. So it's been quite tricky. And of course, our own team safety is a big priority, and we had to adapt the way that we work to keep everybody safe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been, an adventure.
Yeah, I can imagine. So when you say that you and your team had to adapt to make it safe for yourselves as well, could you tell us a bit more about, how as a team you sort of responded to the crisis?
Well, originally we only worked completely alone, and that was something very different from what we were doing before the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, I was really interested in and focused on relationship building. So not only with our team, but also with our suppliers and local manufacturers, actually having people come in and meet the whole team and be able to share their story with us about their products. And of course, we've continued to do that online, but we went from having like a meeting where we all sat together in one room on one table every Monday to just sort of catch up and stay connected, to doing this online and then working alone. We do have now a limited number of people that will be in the actual workplace together. But yeah, I never have more than 2 or 3 employees working at the same time, just because it's, it's really important that everyone does stay healthy and safe.
Yes, of course. So yeah, I can imagine that was quite the change in team dynamics, perhaps, to have this sort of different working situation. But as you mentioned, of course, also for your customers, in a way, a lot changed, so that most of your customers are probably also now based in home office, and that sort of as a consequence that had some impact on your customer base as well, in the sense that you received less orders from, let's say, larger offices, but more from like customers at home. How would you describe sort of customer behavior over the past couple of months?
You know, we love our customers, and I don't want this to sound like negative, but I just really feel that people are more sensitive now. People get more nervous when their order confirmation email goes to their spam box and they don't see it, or if there's a delay or something, we get, I believe more often an email or notified about this. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I feel that just because everybody is under so much stress, and it's just like there's like this, I even notice it sometimes when I'm driving, like people can be a little bit more aggressive now. And I believe that this is stress related, and I don't think that I'm immune from this. When I'm speaking about people, I mean also me. But I do think that our clients' behavior has changed. Originally, our business was impacted even to the point where our busiest day of the week changed. And as you mentioned, like the types of orders that we were receiving changed, or from larger orders to smaller orders from people working at home, for example. We did get a lot of orders from companies who would send all of their team members coffee care packages at home and things like that. So I do believe that a lot of companies are doing their best to sort of keep everybody connected. But I do think that people feel, I don't know, I don't want to sound too weird, like the vibrations in the environment are just like higher because people are under this extra stress now.
Yeah, I understand. So that sort of all this uncertainty of the situation is kind of building up, accumulating a little bit, and that sort of translates into, as you mentioned, specific vibes that you as a business pick up on. So in light of that, how do you sort of keep communications with both your customer but also the suppliers light in a way? Because I could imagine that also the suppliers, of course, maybe get a little bit of that heat where you can tell that customers are getting a bit impatient perhaps in waiting for their important coffee delivery.
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, you might think it's not, but just wait until some office or a restaurant, their delivery is delayed or they're not sure where it is, and then you start to realize like this is very important. But I personally have tried to really keep very open communication with all of our suppliers, just reaching out to them, even asking them like, how are you doing? Like I said, we've been having a lot of online meetings with the team, without the team, just to keep the communication lines open. Whenever they reach out to me and let me know about a change in their situation, I always respond to them and let them know, I really appreciate you letting me know that this is the situation at your business now, so that we can try to work together to make sure that it doesn't become a problem for our clients. Because at the end of the day, if there's a supply chain issue that doesn't allow us to keep our clients happy, it also impacts them. So, we have really, really been working on open communication with everybody.
Yeah, that sounds good. You also mentioned that in your last interview that you said is sort of, reaching out to everyone and including people, sort of building, a support system that can sort of help everyone through this crisis was very important. You also mentioned that you especially wanted to work with local businesses in the Netherlands, but also in Italy, for example. Could you tell us a bit more about how you're building that community?
Actually, I just got done sending an email to digitally introduce two local businesses to each other that I was just inspired yesterday to do. But we have continued to keep contact with our suppliers. We have asked them to participate in brainstorming with us ways that we can keep everybody happy. If they have an issue or an idea or anything, we want to know and then see how we can make this work for everybody. You asked, like, what do I think that, our challenges are 3 things that we could have help with. And, I really think that, from all this working from home, it's really difficult to keep people feeling connected and excited and happy. And so I feel like that has been really a challenge, just because I feel like when we have half of our team working from home, it's like they've almost kind of drifted off a little bit, because they're not seeing everything. They're not seeing the trucks come in. They're not seeing the goods go in and out. And, so I'm really, really trying to keep everybody informed, but it really is this extra level of communication that, it's intense, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine, because of course, you need to sort of uphold communications not only with the team, but with all the other stakeholders involved, so customers, suppliers, as you mentioned. So in light of, for example, intensified communications and so on, what would you say are some of your biggest learnings throughout this crisis experience?
Ooh. Well, I really think that together we're stronger. And I feel like if you work with the people around you, that you can come up with solutions. And, I think talking to these people and like they let you know, we have this that we can do, or we have a big surplus of this particular product, or we're introducing this, or I think really working together helps. And I feel like a lot of the issues that we faced are just, I think, standard, maybe typical issues you have in running business, but they've just been exasperated by the situation. Because I think no matter what, it's always good to have open communication, and no matter what, it's always good to work together, and no matter what, it's great if your employees are excited and connected. But because of the situation, I just feel like the need for these things it's like greater.
Yeah, I understand. So that, because of these circumstances, unprecedented times, as so many like to call it, that of course, as you said, sort of just makes everything seem much more imminent in a way, and every single problem you might encounter during the day. So considering, of course, that the crisis is still ongoing, what would you say is, what is your outlook on the next couple of months?
Well, I believe that people are still going to keep drinking coffee, and people want to treat themselves to something nice. And for a lot of people, the ritual of having a nice coffee or a nice cup of tea is really almost like a spiritual thing. Like they really take their time, and some people grind the beans by hand, and I mean it's like a ritual for them. And I believe that this will continue to be so. But I do really feel that with the pandemic, it's kind of separated people into two groups. And it's like people who, in some ways, they have more money to spend, or because they're not able to travel or go out or go to the spa or any of the things that they may have previously spent their disposable income on. And then there's this other group that their income is completely gone, like gone. And so it's very, I don't know, concerning. I mean, it's just, it's shocking, and I can't imagine what it must be like to have to go to work and tell all of your employees there's no more work anymore, or, and I've read tons of stories about people who've sold their homes to make payroll and things like this. And so, I mean, these people are, really impacted, and it's heartbreaking, especially when you see these stories about people whose businesses were looted. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So going forward, I mean, of course, I'm very hopeful, and I know that we will get there, but I don't see it becoming super easy in the next few weeks or maybe even months. I definitely think that we still have a lot of challenges ahead of us.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably very realistic, let's say, taking on the situation. So we did touch upon it earlier already a little bit. So if you were sort of to think about things that you could use help with, you said that sort of, making that connection with others is one of those things. Could you name some other things that you could use help with?
I think keeping the team connected and excited. I mean, this stress that we're under is very real. And I think that after some time, you sort of acclimate to it, but it doesn't mean it's not there anymore. So it's just this constant pressure that we're all operating under. And I feel like with that, it is hard to stay really excited. And when you're not excited about the work that you're doing, it's hard to keep your clients excited. So I think I would love to have more excitement. I don't know if that makes it sounds really weird, because actually you stress. It's but I don't know. Yeah. And of course, keeping people happy, the physical, but also the mental health of my team and those around me is very, very important. And with the constraints that we have, I feel like this is also a big challenge.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, thank you so much, Heidi, for sharing your insights with us today. Do you have any last words to our viewers?
Stay positive, work together. We're gonna get through this.
Excellent. That's a very good message to end with, I think. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. Feel free to contact Heidi using any of the links in the description of this video below. I invite you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. On our channel, you can find many more insights from entrepreneurs in many different countries and business sectors. So please have a look and stay tuned.